If you want to be healthier, yet you just don't know what to do, all these shows telling you this and that, but nothing seems to work. Well, listen close. Golden State Media Concepts has got something great for you. The Health and Wellness Podcast dedicated to workout trends, healthy eating habits, diet, and everything about healthy living. Join us in our banters as we help you not just live life to the fullest, but live it to the healthiest.
Hey guys, and welcome to GSMC Health and Wellness Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I'm your host, Cynthia. Happy Wednesday, everyone. I hope you all are having a very fabulous day, fabulous night, evening, whatever time you're listening to this podcast. I just hope that you're enjoying yourself right now. I just got tremendous news that I can't necessarily share with you guys, but I am ecstatic right now. I'm so happy. I will give you guys a little hint, and it has to do with, money, of course, but a couple days ago, my left eye was twitching so bad and like twitching all day. And I was like, what the heck? I thought it could be stress, but I really wasn't stressed. Like, I'm like, there's nothing in my life right now that's really stressing me out, thankfully. So I was like, I don't think it's stress. And then I talked to a girl and I asked her, what does it mean when your eyes twitches? And she's like, is it your left or right? And I said, it's my left eye that's twitching. And she goes, oh, well, that usually either has to do with stress or money. And I'm like, what do you mean money? She's like, you're about to get some income. And I'm like, oh, okay. Sure enough, 2 days later, that income hit, and I'm just so happy. So I don't know if that's actually true about like the whole left eye twitching, but I'm going to believe it and say that it is true because a big blessing just came my way. And your girl got her nails done yesterday. I call them a toothpaste green. I know, not that appealing, to be honest. I don't even really like the nail color. I was hoping for it to be a little more blue. I was thinking like sky blue matte. That was what I was hoping for. And then the second she started putting the dip powder on, it started drying to like this mint green, toothpaste green, basically. And yeah, so to be honest, I'm not a fan. I think it's because it doesn't go well with my skin color. I'm very fair right now. So I think that if this color was on a darker skin tone, it would look so bomb. But on me, I think it's not the vibe. And I feel like every time I stare, or the longer I stare at my nails, the more I begin to hate it. So that's kind of my stance. But anyway, still very happy, very grateful to be here. And on today's episode, we're going to be talking all about clean beauty. And how I really came up with this topic to talk about is because I'm getting a facial tomorrow. I'm getting a facial and I have extremely sensitive skin. So I am very particular and very cautious when it comes to what skincare products I use, what are the ingredients that are in my skincare, but not just skincare, my hair care, my body care, like my lotions, my body butter. So just over this last year, I'd say I have become more vigilant about the products I buy and what is actually in the products I buy, what ingredients are being used. So like I said, I'm getting my facial tomorrow, and this just kind of sparked in my mind, like, why not talk about clean beauty? I mean, that is a dimension of wellness and health. Skin is the largest organ in our bodies, and it's really important that we know how to take good care of her. So that's what we're going to be talking about on today's episode is clean beauty. What exactly is, clean beauty? We're going to talk about what ingredients to avoid and so much more, as well as do you really need, to keep your skincare cold? There's been a rise in, beauty fridges or like mini fridges where people store all their beauty products in. And I'm not going to lie, y'all, I was just up this morning looking at some beauty fridges off of Amazon to buy because my room gets so hot. Okay. I swear I have the hottest room in the house. Even with the AC turned on, I feel like my room is still the hottest because it faces the sun pretty much all day. So it's always a lot, like 10 degrees, I'd say. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but it's definitely a lot warmer in my room than other parts of the house. And I get kind of nervous leaving like my skincare on my dresser. A lot of times I come back to it and it's like warmish. I don't know. So I just feel like if I were to keep my beauty products cold, I don't know if they'd necessarily be more effective, but I think it definitely would provide a lasting cooling effect. And especially for my sensitive skin, I know she would appreciate that. So we're going to talk a lot about skincare today and specifically, the ultimate guide to clean beauty. Basically how to transform your skincare, makeup, and hair care routine with non-toxic products that actually work. And I feel like that's another really key thing with non-toxic natural products, or at least my biggest concern is that do they actually work? Are they actually effective? Are they going to provide the same result as if I were to use, toxic or, more chemically balanced products onto my skin and hair and whatnot? So that's what we're going to be diving into today. And you don't need the last name Patral, a standing gua sha appointment or a shelf full of powdered mushroom extracts to take, to care about the ingredients in your beauty products. Okay. From parabens, phthalates and sulfates to oxybenzoin, triclosan, hydroquinone, and artificial fragrances. These dirty beauty words, yes, that's what we're going to call them. Dirty beauty words are fear-inducing enough to elicit a Marie Kondo-style purge of your entire bathroom cabinet, even in the most, apathetic among us. But again, what does clean beauty even mean? And can you trust all natural labels? And are non-toxic products important? Again, these are all questions that will be answered by the end of today's episode. And I'm going to tell you guys how I started kind of getting into clean beauty. Really, it was from Sephora. I'm not going to lie. Sephora, if you go on their online, store, Sephora.com, and you can actually filter your results so it's clean beauty. So it's like a clean beauty, or according to Sephora, these products are labeled as clean beauty, clean ingredients. Of course, are they 100% natural and, non-toxic? I don't think so, but to me, in my mind, it assures me that these are going to be a little less toxic than the ones that aren't labeled as clean beauty. And most of the time, you'll be able to tell what's not very clean is, products that have a lot of ingredients in it, for one, and ingredients that you can't even pronounce, right? That's always, I think I've been taught that at a very young age. I don't know if it was at school or if my mom told me that, but basically if you read the ingredient label and it sounds like a Harry Potter, what's the word? Like, when you say like spell, like a Harry Potter spell, then you should probably leave it alone. And that goes the same for food, by the way. So I've kind of always lived by that. So I just, honestly, from Sephora, they have their ingredients list posted on there. And I just started doing my own research online. Like any ingredient that I wasn't aware of or like I've never heard of, I would Google it. And it would come up, all these search results like, oh, this is used for this, or like this has carcinogenic effects, which is like really scary. You don't want to be using products with carcinogenic effects. So that's really my introduction to clean beauty happened really organically. I wasn't really, I didn't have like an epiphany. It wasn't like I used a product and it was like, oh my God, it like broke me out in hives. Well, let me backtrack a little bit. I was using a cream, that this specific brand, it has very, very harsh chemicals in it, but it's effective and it works, like especially for dark marks, acne, things of that nature. And my mom was actually using this brand a lot. And so that's how I got introduced to this brand. I'm not sure if I should like name them, but anyway, this brand, I was using their moisturizer because I was getting really dry, flaky skin around my mouth. And it worked really well in quenching my skin, but it broke me out in hives on my neck for some reason. Just on my neck. Wasn't anything crazy, but it was like a really itchy rash. And it would just do it on my neck and not on my face. Like on my face, I didn't break out or anything, but on my neck, it would irritate the heck out of my neck. So that was kind of like the first red flag. I was like, I should probably get a different moisturizer, one that doesn't make my neck break out. So we're going to take a very, very brief break right now. And when we come back, more on clean beauty.
Are you looking to learn more about the latest trends from the fitness world? Are you confused by all of the different trends that are out there? The GSMC Fitness Podcast is the place for you. The GSMC Fitness Podcast is the place to come for people of all skill and interest levels. Join us as we explore the latest trends in the fitness world. Does that new exercise really work? Should I try yoga? Whatever your question, chances are good you'll find an answer on the GSMC Fitness Podcast.
Hey guys, and welcome back to GSMC Health and Wellness Podcast. So we're going to continue on with the conversation of what exactly is clean beauty, can you trust all natural labels, and are non-toxic products important? Nearly 50% of women are already using clean beauty products, according to a Harper's Bazaar's poll of more than 1,000 women across all ages, races, and ethnicities. And more than 60% of those women would be willing to splurge on one as well. But with more options than ever before, you don't need to stray away from the drugstore to find a natural version of your favorite skincare, makeup, and hair care products. There comes more opportunity for greenwashing. Not only is the beauty industry self-regulated, meaning anyone can make a clean beauty claim with no oversight, but America's cosmetic regulations for safe products is 81 years old, older than most modern beauty companies. The Food and Drug Administration, FDA, has no authority to recall toxic beauty products unless a manufacturer volunteers. And while the European Union has banned more than 1,000 chemicals common in personal care products, you guys, this is shocking. The United States has banned only 11. Let me repeat that shocking claim again. The European Union has banned more than 1,000 chemicals common in personal care products, and the United States has banned only 11. Only 11, you guys. That is so frightening. And again, this is because the cosmetic industry and regulations are extremely outdated. Okay, like I said, it's 81 years old, older than most modern beauty companies. So should you be concerned? Yes. And where do you even start on a path to a cleaner beauty routine? Like, can we really trust these brands? I'm getting anxiety just thinking about it, okay? Because these are products that we put on our skin and we come in contact with it every single day, sometimes multiple times a day, right? When it says use morning and night. Hello, 2 to 3 times a day. It is very frightening. So, to separate science from science fiction, okay, I was researching and I found some of the leading beauty experts that pored over studies and data and swatched, and spritzed hundreds of clean hair and skincare products to get to the root of what it really means to be clean and natural in the realm of beauty. So all of the information that I'm going to be providing you guys on Clean Beauty 101 right here today was brought to you by Clean Beauty Buzzwords and Glossary. Build a clean skincare routine that actually works. Is your sunscreen safe? The case against chemicals. Natural makeup that lasts all day. The truth about natural deodorant. Clean hair care is hard but not impossible. Why you need clean fragrance and candles, you guys. And candles, because those can also be toxic. The ultimate non-toxic nail polish guide. And lastly, where to shop for organic and natural beauty products. So we have so much to cover, and I'm honestly so excited. I hope you guys are as well, because we're going to be sharing a lot of valuable information for all of my ladies and men out there, okay? Because men, y'all got to take care of your skin. Us ladies love when, you take care of your skin, your nails. You exude good hygiene, and who doesn't want to exude that? So where do you start, okay? I just gave you guys a shocking fact that the United States has only banned 11 chemicals from our products, from our beauty care products. So we believe in taking a common sense approach to clean beauty. If a product is intended to stay on your skin all day, like a moisturizer, and or it's covering a large surface area like body lotion, then you should try to switch to a cleaner alternative, okay? So I'd say start by finding a natural replacement for your daily sunscreen, hand soap, body lotion wash, and deodorant. Then slowly graduate to cleaner shampoo, conditioner, skincare, and makeup products. So here is a list of some of the ingredients to avoid and watch out for when shopping for all of your beauty needs. Clean beauty, you guys, is a spectrum, but a case can be made that some ingredients should be avoided altogether. So, here are some of the most common beauty ingredients of concern and the reasons also why they're so notorious. We're going to start with parabens, okay? Parabens are a group of preservatives and antimicrobial chemicals that prevent the growth of nasty things like bad bacteria and mold in your beauty products. But here's the problem. Studies confirm that parabens mimic estrogen in the human body, with evidence linking them to reproductive organ harm, thyroid disruption, hormone-related cancers, and obesity. Exposure to parabens through beauty products was recently linked to early onset puberty in girls, according to a study published in Human Reproduction. They're also easily absorbed. Pregnant women who used more personal care products had a greater amount of parabens in their urine, according to a 2014 study published in Reproduction. The authors of the previous study noted that toxicological risk assessments in humans do not take into account simultaneous exposure, meaning the risk to the fetus are still unknown, okay? We're not even that far yet in the study, so we really don't know what are the lasting effects on, the fetus. A 2019 study also found a link between paraben exposure and gestational diabetes mellitus. The European Commission banned several types of parabens for use in personal care products, some of them being isopropyl, isobutyl, phenol, benzyl, and pentylparabens. All 5, you guys, are still approved for use in the United States. What? I'm sorry, but are you guys trying to kill us? We're just trying to stay young and beautiful over here, and they're out here putting these terrible parabens, allowing these parabens to still be made in our personal care products. Does that not bother you guys? Because it definitely bothers me. I'm getting a little hot right now, okay? FDA scientists have reopened investigations into parabens and cosmetics several times and continue to monitor new data. But their conclusion remains. At this time, we do not have information showing that parabens, as they are used in cosmetics, have an effect on human health. I don't know about that one, FDA. Let's go to the next ingredient that you should avoid, and that is fragrances and phthalates. The word fragrance is a catch-call term that can disguise up to 3,000 synthetic or natural chemicals used to make a beauty product smell delicious, okay? So that candle you light at night that smells like chocolate cake, not the most health friendly for you and for your lungs to inhale, as it's made up of 3,000 synthetic chemicals, okay? Fragrances are considered a trade secret and therefore do not have to be disclosed. On a related note, phthalates, which help fragrances last longer, are a group of chemicals used to keep materials and products, such as nail polishes, hairsprays, plastics, pliable. You'll find them on an ingredient list abbreviated as DEP, BBZP, DBP, and DEHP. I don't like that that's abbreviated, okay? Because I didn't know this. I didn't know they're able to abbreviate these harmful, toxic chemicals, okay, in the ingredient list. So it's like I could have just been overlooking that this whole time and I'm over here thinking, oh, this is a clean product, when in reality it's not. I'm a little upset right now. I don't know if you guys can tell by my tone of voice. I'm upset. Now here is the problem. Where there is the vague ingredient fragrance, there are phthalates most of the time anyway. Phthalates have been linked to reproductive and hormonal harm in children and men. Some studies have linked phthalate exposure to obesity, type 2 diabetes, reduced sperm count, breast cancers, reproductive malformation, infertility, and cardiovascular events. A study from 2017 found that 70% of perfume and cosmetics salespeople had exceeded the cumulative risk of phthalate exposure. Wow. I mean, that makes sense. These salespeople are exposed to that all the time. Fragrance on its own can also be a trigger for allergies and asthma attacks, since we don't know exactly what ingredients are being used in both short and long-term exposure. Cosmetics giants Unilever, Procter & Gamble, and Johnson & Johnson have all committed to fragrance transparency in the last several years. So you guys, we're going to come to a very brief break right now, and when we come back, more on some of the harmful ingredients to avoid in your personal care products.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
What's up, you guys, and welcome back to GSMC Health and Wellness Podcast. We're going to continue on with the stressful conversation of harmful ingredients to avoid in your personal care products. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm like, my anxiety is kicking in just talking about all of these harmful things, because half of the stuff I didn't know, such as them being able to abbreviate phthalates to like 4 letters, 3 letters, and the fact that the United States FDA are still allowing for these harmful parabens to be made in our personal care products. It's pretty alarming if you ask me. The next ingredient that you should try to avoid are ethoxylated agents. That one's going to be a tough one for me to pronounce, so just hang in there with me, people. Ethoxylated agents include polyethylene glycols, known as PEGs, citrates, olefins, and sulfates. Sulfates are responsible for the bubbles in lather and cleansers like shampoo. Some sulfates are synthetic, while others are derived from sulfur and petroleum, as well as natural sources like coconut and palm oils. PEG compounds are used as thickeners, solvents, and softeners in hair products, as well as some moisturizers and base products. So here is the problem. Sodium lauryl sulfate is a harsh cleanser, which is why it gets a bad reputation in the world of hair care. It will strip your hair, but it's not inherently toxic. To save your hair, sodium lauryl sulfate is sometimes converted into sodium lauryl sulfate through a process called ethoxylation. A byproduct of this process is 1,4-dioxane, a chemical the Environmental Protection Agency lists as a likely human carcinogen. On the FDA website, it's noted that the agency periodically monitors the levels of 1,4-dioxane in cosmetic products, and that changes made in the manufacturing process have resulted in a significant decline over time in the levels of this contaminant in these products. A 2018 FDA survey of 82 randomly selected personal care products marketed toward children found that only 2 had levels of 1,4-dioxane above 10 ppm, which is significantly lower than in the surveys conducted from 1981 through 1997. The agency also notes that 1,4-dioxane evaporates quickly, lowering the risk of transdermal absorption even in products that remain on the skin for hours. As of July 2019, Sephora is requiring brands to test for the presence of 1,4-dioxane. And this is why we love Sephora, and we're going to continue supporting her. And this is the step in how they are trying to evaluate what is clean beauty. So I definitely appreciate that Sephora is doing that. And I really hope that, more big cosmetic brands and distributors would be more transparent in this process and kind of follow those steps that Sephora is doing. So that is that. Let's move on to the next one. And again, I'm not trying to stress you guys out with all of these ingredients, I'm just trying to make you more aware. Like I said in the last segment, start with the things that stay on your skin the whole day, such as moisturizer. And that was the very first thing that I changed, you guys. I am now using an all natural organic body butter from this very small brand called Corey's Care. And literally the only ingredients that are in the body butter are jojoba oil, vitamin E oil, mango butter, shea butter, and essential oil of lemon scent. So that's all that's really needed, you guys. The shorter, the better, okay? The shorter, the better. So the next ingredient to avoid is called formaldehyde. The most notorious preservative in history, formaldehyde, is commonly found in keratin smoothing treatments that rely on the chemical to lock the hair's broken, disulfide bonds into a straighter position. But here's the problem. Formaldehyde is recognized globally as a human carcinogen, and that's why it and its offspring have been eliminated from most common cosmetic products like nail polish. Salon keratin treatments often claim to be free of the F word too, except they're not. What they contain instead are ingredients like methylene glycol, formalin, methanol, and methanediol, which release the carcinogenic compound when mixed with water during the treatment. This presents a risk to you, my ladies, who love to get those keratin treatments. Of course, but it's most dangerous for the salon technician who styles hair in an enclosed space day in and day out. The U.S. Occupational Safety and Health Administration lists sore throat, nosebleeds, and itchy eyes as common side effects to formaldehyde exposure. The FDA also warns that formulas and products can claim they're natural, organic, and or formaldehyde free when that's not true. The agency encourages consumers to always read the label, ask care professionals for an ingredient list, and report all negative reactions. So I know it's a hassle, you guys. I know it's a hassle to stay clean. And to be honest, I don't know if you'll be able to stay 100% clean because almost everything and anything that you use has some type of chemical that's not the healthiest for us. So the whole purpose of today's episode is to just make you guys more aware of these chemicals and to hopefully just minimize it, reduce where you can. I know if keratin treatments are your thing, I know, this episode may not be the one that stops you from keep doing it, right? Just as it's not going to stop me from keep getting my hair dyed. You feel me? I'm about to get my hair dyed next month. Those chemicals are harmful. I know that because I get itchy eyes. My throat starts getting itchy a little bit. But I'm going to continue still doing it because beauty is pain. All right, here we go. Next one we got to avoid. We got refined petroleum. That is a no-no. Mineral oil is a widely used moisturizing agent sourced from petroleum and is often found in lip balms and face creams. But here's the problem. There are about 1,000 reasons to avoid petroleum products from an environmental standpoint. But there are health concerns as well. A 2011 study found mineral oil to be the largest contaminant present in the human body due to accumulation over time, possibly from cosmetics. A 2016 study called for the reduction of the amount of mineral and petroleum-based ingredients in the majority of cosmetic lip products that are ingestion. Untreated or mildly treated mineral oils used in manufacturing, not the cosmetic grade, kind found in your lip balm, are listed as carcinogens by the World Health Organization. So I'm telling you guys, I know it's hard to stay 100%, clean because everything has some type of harmful ingredients. And listen to this. It is going to blow your freaking minds right now. Of the 82,000 ingredients used in personal care products, almost 14,000 have been found to be industrial chemicals that are carcinogens, pesticides, and hormone disruptors. That is so alarming. 14,000 chemicals that are carcinogens, pesticides, and hormone disruptors that we use on a daily basis without even knowing. I'm literally scratching my head at this because how has this been okay? How? I'm upset. All right, you guys, but I am still not done. I know. We still got a long ways to go. But the next harmful one to avoid is hydroquinone. Hydroquinone is a topical bleaching agent and is found in skin lightening creams and serums and used in the treatment of hyperpigmentation. It's sold over the counter in 2% concentrations, but stronger formulas are available by prescription. Hydroquinone was approved by the FDA in 1982, but several years later, It was temporarily pulled from the market due to safety concerns. It turns out the products in question had mercury in them, so the adverse effects weren't because of the skin lightening ingredient. However, hydroquinone itself been linked to certain cancers, decreased immune response, abnormal function of the adrenal gland, and a skin condition known as ochronosis. It's because of the perceived risk that the European Union, alongside Japan and Australia, have banned the ingredient. But guess which country hasn't? The US. So you guys, we're going to cut into a very brief break right now. And when we come back, we're going to talk about talc and why talc is a harmful ingredient to avoid as well.
The GSMC Life and Happiness Podcast takes you on a journey of exploration. We'll discuss tried and true methods alongside the latest trends of how to best live your life to its fullest and happiest. From psychology to meditation, science to self-help books, the GSMC Life and Happiness Podcast will help you to discover what makes you happy and how you can live life being the best you possible. Download the GSMC Life and Happiness Podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, or anywhere you find podcasts. Just type GSMC in the search bar.
Hey guys, and welcome back to GSMC Health and Wellness Podcast. So like I mentioned right before we went on break, we're now going to be hitting on why talc is another ingredient that you should avoid from your personal care products. And talc is a common ingredient in face powders and eyeshadows. It's a mineral made from magnesium, silicon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Here's the problem with talc. It hasn't been purified and it can be contaminated with asbestos, which is a known human carcinogen. In early 2019, eyeshadow and contour palettes marketed to girls from Claire's stores were recalled after the FDA found asbestos contamination during routine talc monitoring. Following the incident, the agency called on Congress to pass reformed cosmetic safety regulations. In December of 2018, Reuters published an investigation claiming Johnson & Johnson knew for decades that asbestos was detected in its talcum-based baby powder products. Juries have awarded millions of dollars in high-profile cases that link Johnson & Johnson baby powder products to cases of ovarian cancer and mesothelioma, which is so scary because, you guys, I still have baby powder sitting in my household, and sometimes I use it as dry shampoo when I run out of it. And the fact that this is being put on babies, my mom used this on my siblings and I when we were babies, and it's just very scary. You shouldn't be putting all of those harmful chemicals on babies. What? It makes me upset. Let's continue on and just keep making me upset, right? Next ingredient we have to avoid is triclosan. Triclosan is an antibacterial and antimicrobial chemical that can be found in sanitizing hand and body soaps, mascara, and formerly toothpaste. Funny that I said toothpaste because, hello, I have toothpaste colored fingernails right now. Triclosan hasn't just been linked to liver fibrosis, skin cancer, hormone disruption, and the development of bacterial superbugs. It's also just not any more effective than soap and water. In April of 2019, the FDA issued a final rule banning OTC hand sanitizers from using triclosan. In today's final regulation, we finalize the FDA's previous determination that 28 active ingredients, including triclosan and benzothonium chloride, are not eligible for evaluation under the FDA's OTC drug review for use in consumer antiseptic rubs. That's what Janet Woodcock, director of the FDA Center for Drug Evaluation and Research, said in a release at the time. The agency added, FDA has not received evidence that triclosan provides a benefit to human health. At this time, FDA doesn't have evidence that triclosan in OTC consumer and antibacterial soaps and body washes provides any benefit over washing with regular soap and water. Well, that's alarming. We might as well just wash our hands with soap and water, you guys. No need to be using any hand sanitizers or hand soaps with triclosan in it. And then lastly, the last and final ingredient that we know of to stay away from is silica. Also known as silicone dioxide, silica is used as an absorbent, anti-caking, and abrasive agent in everything from oral care products to foundation. Silica is naturally occurring, but the kind approved for use in cosmetics is amorphous silica, not crystalline silica, also known as quartz dust. The science concerning silica is confusing, to say the least. Only one kind of silica is approved for use in cosmetic formulations, amorphous silica. So why is crystalline silica, a known human carcinogen, popping up in particles of respirable size in laboratory tests of various bath products and cosmetics? Why? Some studies suggest that amorphous silica can be contaminated with the crystalline kind, which would help explain why it's still detectable in beauty products. There are environmental concerns as well, particularly with the slippery silica byproduct found in every beloved face primer, silicone. Refined silicones are not biodegradable, you guys. So again, I know we, took a couple segments to really dedicate, the time to talk about what ingredients to avoid. But you guys, it's so important to be aware of these harmful ingredients. And these are just some. Like I said, out of 82,000 ingredients that are put in our hair care products, in our makeup, in our body care, 82,000 ingredients, and 14,000 of them have carcinogenic effects and that are still being used and put in our products that we use on a daily basis. We should all be upset. This is not okay. So again, the ingredients to avoid, I'm going to list them out for y'all. Parabens, fragrances, ethyl oxalated agents, formaldehyde, refined petroleum, hydroquinone, talc, triclosan, silica, oxybenzone, and aluminum compounds. Again, those are just what we know of right now. So now that we kind of wrapped up, what ingredients to avoid, let's talk about what does clean consist of? What does it mean? Clean, organic, cruelty-free. When it comes to beauty products, the FDA has yet to regulate how brands can use these words. Again, these are just marketing words. Definitions are subjective and often change from company to company, package to package, making it nearly impossible to navigate or decipher the truth from greenwashing. So hopefully, this segment, we're able to break it down, the most common buzzwords for some much needed clarity. So what does clean mean? Safe for people and the planet. Clean means that a beauty product should have considered human and environmental health, using a non-toxic element as a baseline and plant-based ingredients for active results. Much like eating clean rejects the idea of processed foods and focuses on nourishing, plant-based produce that delivers all the vitamins and antioxidants needed for a healthy immune and digestive system. The same is true for clean skincare. So that's, in simplest terms, what clean means. So what does green mean? The word green should mean that the product does no harm to the environment. For instance, a reef-safe sunscreen with biodegradable packaging would be labeled green. However, this is a very wishy-washy term with no true definition and is usually used as an umbrella for any product that claims to protect the planet's resources. So now, what does organic mean? Personal care products that are certified to be at least 95% organic will bear an official USDA organic seal. Products bearing the USDA organic seal must also comply with handling and manufacturing specifications, and the use of genetically modified organisms is prohibited. In an effort to avoid pesticides, the clean beauty industry has begun to use organic, plant-based ingredients in products wherever possible. However, the certification is expensive, so many smaller brands will independently label ingredients that are organic on packaging despite not carrying an official seal. Did you guys know this? Because I did it. What? So because it's expensive to become certified, officially certified organic, you're going to just do it, under the table? I don't like that. There's a lot of things about all the information I'm spewing out today that I don't like. So now, what does non-toxic mean in simplistic terms? Water and oxygen can be toxic in the wrong dose. So when a beauty product is labeled non-toxic, it likely means that the ingredients have not been shown to cause adverse health effects at the levels found inside the formula and for the intended use. This is true of every beauty product currently sold in the United States. In the clean beauty space, non-toxic means that a product shouldn't include any ingredient that's been deemed toxic at any dose by a third-party resource like the European Union or Environmental Working Group. So now, what does sustainable mean? Sustainable goes hand in hand with green. It means that the ingredients on the inside of the package, including how those ingredients were sourced and the packaging itself, should not be harmful to the planet. When you use any product, the ingredients go down the drain and into the water system, which, thanks to exfoliating microbeads and preservatives like BHA, is causing a marine environment health crisis. Likewise, many conventional beauty products are made from petroleum jelly and are packaged in plastic, both created from the oil industry. Truly sustainable ingredients are those that are ethically sourced and proven to be safe for the environment, with sustainable or no waste packaging being defined as glass packaging, biodegradable packaging, post-consumer recycled packaging, or the ability to recycle empty bottles appropriately through a TerraCycle program. And moving on, what does vegan mean? What does that term mean? A beauty product is vegan if it doesn't contain any animal byproducts or ingredients sourced from animals. Common non-vegan ingredients found in clean beauty products include beeswax, honey, lanolin, and tallow. Many people associate vegan with clean, but that is not the case. Those terms are not synonymous. A product can be vegan and still contain chemical ingredients of concern. FYI. And lastly, what does cruelty-free mean? A beauty product is cruelty-free if it has not been tested on animals anywhere along the manufacturing line or before being sold. It can also mean that any animal-derived ingredients were not extracted at the expense of an animal's welfare, like natural fiber makeup brushes. A beauty product can be cruelty-free but not vegan, and vice versa. So I hope this clarifies a little bit more for you guys, the buzz on these buzzwords, because I know a lot of these makeup brands and just personal care product brands just throw these terms out and we don't really understand what it means to be organic or non-toxic or sustainable. So I really hope this mini dictionary podcast right now was helpful for you guys. So we're going to jump into a really quick break right now. And when we come back, more on clean beauty.
Are you tired of the same old news? Are you sick of the seemingly endless political spin and negativity? The GSMC America's Still Beautiful podcast is a weekly news podcast covering all the top positive and uplifting news stories. We cover stories that will inspire, uplift, and remind you of the good in the world. Tune into the Golden State Media Concepts America's Still Beautiful podcast to get all the great and positive news stories of today. Download the GSMC America's Still Beautiful podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, or anywhere you find podcasts. Just type GSMC in the search bar.
What's up, you guys, and welcome back to GSMC Health and Wellness Podcast. So we're going to continue along with the frustrating yet very interesting conversation of what it truly means to be clean beauty. And you guys, natural doesn't always mean better for you or the environment. Essential oils are extremely potent plant compounds often used as pharmaceutical-grade natural remedies, and they are not regulated by the FDA. Considering that 1 drop of undiluted peppermint essential oil is equivalent to about 28 cups of peppermint tea, this can be extremely problematic when it comes to skincare, right? People just throw together a few essential oils with a carrier oil and call it their daily moisturizer. But essential oils are crazy strong plants, okay? Putting that on every day without the proper formulation is going to mess up your skin barrier. And this could mean anything from experiencing mild skin irritation to suffering from an allergic reaction to dealing with breakouts. In addition, essential oils from disreputable sources may be cut with fillers, processed with chemicals, unethically sourced, or grown using pesticides. Greenwashing is also a problem. A 2008 study by the Organic Consumers Association found undisclosed carcinogenic petrochemical ingredients in more than 40% of products tested that claimed to be natural. And in 2016, the Federal Trade Commission filed complaints against 4 companies that marketed their personal care products as all natural or 100% natural when the products contained a number of synthetic ingredients. Synthetic ingredients, you guys, can actually be safer and more effective. I know it sounds crazy because I feel like we've all been told that essential oils, it's natural, comes from plants, it's safer. But in fact, synthetic ingredients in some cases can actually be safer. There are the obvious natural culprits to steer clear of, like talc, as we've talked about in today's episode, as one of the ingredients to avoid. And there are products to be wary of, like clay, which may be contaminated with toxic heavy metals. But esthetician Christina Holy says it's also imperative to look at the processing and sourcing of natural ingredients to ensure that they will be received by the body without a negative impact. Your expectation of a natural product may not always match the manufacturer's use of the term. And with essential oils like lavender and tea tree, which have been linked to possible endocrine disruption, sometimes it can be more beneficial to opt for a safe synthetic ingredient. When it comes to synthetics versus natural, there are certain cases where a synthetic will not only prove to be cleaner, but provide results in a more effective way than a non-isolated natural compound that is not 100% pure. And this is coming from, the esthetician Christina Holy, who uses the synthetically derived form of vitamin C, L-ascorbic acid as an example. But it's important that any synthetic ingredient is being formulated by people who are knowledgeable in quality control and the whole chain of sourcing to really ensure that whatever is going onto your product or into your product is healthy. And if there are synthetics used in a product, they need to have a purpose for the skin, rather than act as fillers, stabilizers, or preservatives. Esthetician Britta Plug adds that when it comes to the efficacy of all natural products, it's also important to know when the ingredients were bottled. An expiry date of 6 to 18 months after opening is something to strive for when shopping for natural products. Even if something is natural, oftentimes it's made with ingredients that have been sitting on the shelf for years, like actual years. It can be made from dried herbs that have been hanging out in a lab and no longer have that nutrient density. So, in reality, it won't actually work. That's the translation I got. It won't actually work. The Food and Drug Administration has no authority to recall toxic beauty products unless a manufacturer volunteers, and that is also inclusive of these so-called natural ingredients like essential oils that you would think like, oh, they're natural, like they're good for me. When in reality, they're not even regulated. So, another thing. Consider the environmental impact of natural as well. The pearls of palm oil is actually a great example. Palm oil used in everything from lipstick to shampoo is a natural ingredient that comes from the fruit on tropical palm trees. However, producing palm oil wreaks havoc on the environment to build palm oil plantations. Trees are often cleared in tropical rainforests, causing deforestation and loss of animal habitats. According to the World Wildlife Fund, areas the size of approximately 300 football fields are cleared each hour. 300 football fields cleared each hour for palm oil production, with orangutans and Sumatran tigers at risk of extinction for palm oil. That makes me angry, honestly. But boycotting palm oil isn't necessarily the solution. As with any natural resource, palm oil can be produced responsibly, and exchanging palm oil, the highest yielding vegetable oil, with other vegetable-based carrier oils could actually worsen environmental problems. For instance, soybean, rapeseed, and sunflower oils require significantly more land to produce the same volume, according to a report by the World Wildlife Fund, which could cause greater impact to habitats, biodiversity, and the environment. So what's the answer? Certification by the likes of the Roundtable on Sustainable Palm Oil, or RSPO, and strong governmental regulations play an important role in ending irresponsible production of palm oil and irresponsible production of other natural ingredients used by the beauty industry. It takes 256 pounds of peppermint leaf to make 1 pound of peppermint essential oil, for example. And let me just say that anything can lead to deforestation. We have to just approach it in a more sustainable and thoughtful way. And esthetician Tara Foley notes that sandalwood is another natural ingredient currently being depleted by the beauty industry, but brands committed to the definition of clean beauty, which means safe for planet and the people, will simply use something else. Right now, there's limited resources for sandalwood. It's basically getting a little depleted. But it's the same thing. We need to figure out a way to do it in a more sustainable fashion. Until then, the clean brands are just going to use it less. And it's important to note, this is what esthetician Foley adds, that the alternatives for plant-based ingredients are usually petroleum-based products, which is the core of so much conventional beauty, and it is not good at any level. So really the main thing is making sure we find ways of producing these natural, ingredients in a more sustainable and resourceful way, so that way it can truly be labeled as clean beauty. So you guys, I have so much more to say in regards to clean beauty, and I will make a part 2 continue on with this conversation, because there's just so much to be said about, how to build a clean skincare routine that actually works with clean beauty. So part 2 will be coming next week, so definitely stay tuned, as well as the talk of, do we really need to refrigerate, our skincare? So you guys, I really hope today's episode was informative and that you learned a thing or two. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's talk. If you did, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, all of that good stuff, because that tremendously helps the show. And I'll catch you guys here next week for part 2 of Clean Beauty.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Health and Wellness Podcast, part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network, from movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.